Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Man in a Van with a Pan. I'm your host, Joey Tuna, and today I am in Minneapolis, Minnesota. I got me some fresh apples, so I think I'll make a little Minneapple Crisp. Let's get cooking. Alright, let's get going on the Minneapple Crisp. Now I love apple crisp, and first Kiss is my new favorite apple. So I'm going to cut it up into bite-sized pieces. I am using some quick 1-minute oatmeal. I have some almonds, brown sugar, maple syrup. Gotta have the cinnamon with the apples, and a little bit of vanilla extract. Now it's a pretty straightforward recipe. Should only take 15 minutes or so. The star of the show is going to be the First Kiss apple. It's going to become your new favorite apple. If this variety is grown in Minnesota, then it's called the First Kiss. If it's grown outside Minnesota, then it's called the Rave apple. They're firm, they're crisp, they're juicy, and they're just a little bit tart. So that's going to be perfect for the crisp. Because I got a lot of sugar, a lot of cinnamon flavors in here. That tartness is going to balance that out nicely. Alright, my apples are diced up into nice chunks. So I'm going to start with the crisp. The first thing I'm going to do is add the butter, brown sugar, maple syrup, vanilla, and cinnamon into my saucepan and cook it down a little bit. 2 tablespoons of butter, 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, 1 and 2, 1.5 tablespoons of maple syrup, 1.5, 2 teaspoons of vanilla, 1, 2, and ½ teaspoon of cinnamon. Gonna light it, boom, and we're going. Set up in skillet mode. So the first thing I'm going to do is melt this butter, sugar, get that mixture all nice and bubbly, and I'm gonna add a pinch of salt in here. Alright, I'm just going to heat this until my mixture here gets all melty, the butter gets melty, the sugar dissolves, and it gets a little bubbly. Oh, and that smells good. You really can't miss with maple syrup, brown sugar, butter, cinnamon. You might just eat that by itself. Now it's time to add the oats and the almonds. So I'm going to add 3/4 cup of oats. Jesus! And I have some sliced almonds here. I'm just going to do 1/4 cup of almonds. So I'm going to cook this for 4 to 5 minutes. All I'm doing here is stirring up this mixture, cooking the oats, and developing that nice crisp top. Really got to be careful not to burn that sugar, mostly because I don't want to scrape it off my pan. That's my main motivation for not burning things. Getting a little sizzle going. Now the nice part about this recipe is it makes this pretty small portion and it's pretty quick. So if you're in the mood for a little apple crisp, make it in the frying pan. Or if you live in a van and you don't have an oven, make it in a frying pan. It smells like fall right there. And that is cooked. Beautiful. The oat and almond mixture has been cooked down, so I put it in a bowl. I'm going to set it to the side for now. In the same pan, I am going to cook down my apples. Okay, for the apples, I have 2 tablespoons butter, 1 tablespoon brown sugar, 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, and I'm going to do the same thing. Light up my stove. Oh. We're going to melt this down first, then add my apples and cook for about 2 minutes. Jesus. It gets me every time. Now my favorite part about van life cooking is that as I run around the country, I find ingredients I never would have run across before. Great example, the First Kiss apple. I don't think I would have heard about that if I hadn't ended up in Minnesota this summer. I have the butter, sugar, and cinnamon mixture melting down right now. With a nice coating on the pan. In go the apples. Perfect. And get them coated in this butter sugar mixture. 2 minutes on the saute here. Now Minnesota, known for those long cold winters. which means they know how to cook some comfort food. And this apple crisp is definitely going to fall under the comfort food category. The apples are cooked down, so now it's time to plate. I'm going to start with a nice layer of these cooked down apples. About half the pan in the base, along with plenty of that juice. And then likewise, half of the crisp that we cooked up a little earlier. And you know I gotta finish it off with a couple scoops of vanilla ice cream. And today I found some apple crisp wafers. So these are perfect for garnish. Alright. Here it is, quick and easy, 15 minutes for the mini apple crisp. I'm gonna try this bad boy. That's a keeper. That'll keep you warm on those cold fall nights. You know what makes it? The First Kiss apple. Way to go, Minnesota. Am I gonna eat the rest of this? As they say in Minnesota, you betcha. I'm gonna finish my meal here. Thank you so much for joining me for this episode of A Man in a Van with a Pan. Van life cooking at its realest. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss a dish. I'm your host, Joey Tuna, and until next time, signing off. How much apple crisp can one man eat if you call it the first kiss? Oh, nicely. Stick. Whoop. Oh. Chunks. And since I'm in Minneapolis, it's only fitting that it's the mini